the Imperial Charter, ascender of the Second Throne, voice of the Divine Mandate, lord of the Terran Empire and of his vassalage realms and territories, voice of the Divine Mandate, first among the Celestial House, protector of the people, lord of terror, first of the Imperial High Command, Supreme Marshal of His Imperial Majesty's Armed Forces, Father of the People, Duke of Atlantis, holder of the Shield of Terror, possessor of the Circlet of Conquest, Knight of the Nebulous Order, and he who sits upon the throne with the consent of the people and their lords. As representative for the Council of the Imperial High Command, I ask for your orders. Orders? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you've already been assigned the conquest of the Frontier Hive worlds. Yes, Emperor. I was referring to the matter of the other Terran-Xeno hostilities. The what? Oh, you mean those Tal Mek Xenos. These Xeno pose an insignificant threat to the Empire and are largely unworthy of our attention. That being said, their declaration of hostilities to us is an affront that cannot be overlooked. We shall have these Xeno humbled. Let us begin with the conquest of half their territories. I shall personally assign the marks of conquest to your High Command when I deem the time is right. Very well, Emperor. Are there any changes in policy as to the subjugated aliens of these planets? Actually, what exactly is the policy regarding the civilized races who will become our subjects? The Imperial Charter, under the article of the Alien Question, Section 7, declares that humanoid aliens living on Imperial planets are to be granted residency status, and have right to pursue any career they wish from the list of designated careers for alien residents. Is that all? I am afraid that the only questions that the men and women of High Command are concerned with is how to beat them, Your Majesty. What becomes of them after we've taken the planet is not our position to influence. Then, why did you ask if there were to be any changes to the policy? Your Majesty, there are elements within our martial organizations that have a more radical solution to the alien question. But such an extreme policy is widely unpopular among Terrans and the civilized aliens alike. I see. Commander, you will have in all likelihood completed your conquests before any changes to the policy will be approved. So all relevant policies regarding alien subjects and battle doctrine, and whatever else, will remain as they were. Very good, Your Majesty. That is all. One last thing. Do you possess the mindset that the Chancellor has spoke of? The will of the Divine Mandate is the law that the High Command abides by, and any sentiments that do not align with it are irrelevant. If the policy concerning the alien question were to become more radical, you would carry it out. That is our duty. If the policy were to become more lenient, then it is no longer a military matter, but the military would approve of it. That is our duty. Very good then, Commander. Now, that will be all. Okay, Chancellor, what's on the agenda for today? Today, sir, actually no, scrap that. Why do you talk like that? You sound like you got a sandpaper frog in your throat. No one talks like that, and you're really giving off a sinister vibe that really does not do well for the image of the throne, being the right-hand man of the Emperor. Do you get what I'm putting down? You want to address the rebellion concern? Well, maybe the rebels are just concerned that the Chancellor of the Empire sounds like a clandestine murderer. I'm very old, Your Grace, and my youthful appearance is only skin deep. Aha. I'm not sure I believe that, but if I replace you, well, then I'd have to replace you. Is that an official merit? Why? You're collecting brownie points to show off to the courtiers or something? Is there some damn Employee of the Month scheme I'm not aware of? Sir, you are the Employee of the Month. Every month, every year. As a servant of the people and the greatest influence on the livelihood of our citizens. That sounds dangerously like a democratic sentiment, so now I know you're pulling my leg. Very well, have your official merit points, don't spend them all in one place or whatever it is you do with them. Sign here, Your Majesty. You've just kept that handy for an opportunity like this, haven't you? Fine. And sign here, sir. And while you're in the signing mood, if you could place your thumb on this bio-authenticator. And could you write the date and time of the authentication being made? And if you could also kindly submit to a retinal scan? Date and time again here, Your Majesty. And a vascular ID confirmation. Hello there, and welcome back to Stellar Monarch. So now with most of the setup pretty much all got out of the way, we can basically just get right to colonizing the entire galaxy and making everything ours. So, I've done a few things in the background, generally just adjusting this here. Basically, to begin an offensive, we need about 200% of the aliens' attack power, something like that. And speaking of aliens and such, I kind of glossed over the fact that an alien race people attacked us, declared war on us, and I kind of scoffed at it, and that's because, again, they only have 6 planets. It's these chaps down here. I've marked them for exploration because, contrary to what I said last time, we might actually need to know where they are to invade them and such. And that's basically it. Beside the point that pretty much all the aliens are technologically superior to us. It's in here somewhere. Ah, here we go. This is, I don't exactly know what it all means. I just know that as a baseline, all the Empire stats here are 0. I think I can find them if I there we are. See, we kind of suck at it, and we aren't even capable of competently managing a higher fleet tonnage. But that's no reason for concern, as the Tal Mek, that's what I'm going to call them, have 6 planets, we have 54. That's a nice little percentage of how much of the galaxy we control. Food doesn't really matter in this regard, but we make massive amounts of minerals in comparison to them, and our economic power dwarfs them. So even though we're technologically inferior, we can just, in the only true way of fighting a war, is just throw stuff at them until we win. And that's basically what we're going to do. Now, the only planet that we border is this one here. They have 25 squadrons. I'm going to claim it and mark it high priority. And way-ho, that's just about all that we have to do. Oh, and the slugs are attacking us. They're basically another version of the Hive, except they make the planets crap, which is nice. So in proper suiting, we seem to have an Australian to deal with them, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter. It is slightly concerning that they might actually start beating us here, but we do have what is this again? An Imperial a star base, which basically modifies our attack power in the region. We have a 60% bonus to space combat. There. So that's basically it. Oh, and while I'm at it, we could do with just marking this for a bit of destruction. It's a nice enough planet. It's got some food. Speaking of, we're still starving. Starving a little bit less than last time, but starving. Oh, and our economy seems to be doing a lot better than it was before. I'm not entirely sure what changed, but we're gonna reduce the tax just so we get that happiness up there. And that's basically it. And now, basically, I'm going to smash end turn a load of times until something happens, and that's kind of the game. Here we go. Alright, so, we want a planet. Which one we win? Okay, more Hive stuff. Oh, yeah, even though we killed the aliens, we don't take the planet. We have to wait for a colony ship to come by and start setting things up, apparently. Which makes sense, since insects don't build any infrastructure or anything. They just... they're insects, so... Oops, that is not what I meant to do. I lost my train of thought, which is quite common. So, yeah. Ooh. How did it go over here, actually? Reinforcements, no. Exploration, no. War. Yeah. So, yep, they're killing us better than we kill them. Same. It looks like we're still fighting for the planet. Yep. Oh, they've attacked us. That should be in battle, I believe. Trying to take orbital control. I I'm not quite sure how to review what actually entirely happened. Again, ever since well, it changed since Stellar Monarch 1. We don't review the actual battles anymore. We kind of just they do happen and they are calculated, but we just don't see it anymore. I think it's to speed things up. And we colonise a rather nice planet here, Rescend, which will slowly... Oh, wait, no, we're colonising it. Okay. Well, if we just smack end turn again, things are going decent-ish enough here. It seems like we won over here, which means our ground troops will be making their way in. Yep, there we go. Loads of numbers that we don't really need to be concerned about, because that's difficult. And we appear to have sent everything at them here, and we will no doubt win that eventually. Yeah, but they're giving us the lick. Oh, and the Arachnids have woken up. It's kind of like a cyclical alien species that kind of just goes into hibernations, and then they just wreck a whole lot of stuff. There's a way to find where they come from. Arachnids, find homeworld, find homeworld. Is that it? Is that them? There we go, that's them. So, they're all the way over here, very far away from us. We don't need to be concerned about that. It'll just kill some aliens. If it reaches our borders, then, well, it won't. And if it does, then that's a problem for someone else, not me. And so we just smashed the end turn again. Exploration's happening, colonization is happening, battles are happening. Enemy forces trying to take over the orbital control, but we don't have anything here. On Zor? What do you mean? I don't see anything. Nah, that's a lie. Oh, okay. Okay, that's... okay, now that's a little bit concerning. Okay, issue order to defend the planet. High priority. And, we're just going to hope that, that the admirals have that situation in hand. Speaking of our admirals, who's actually in charge of the northern sector? The Duke's finest. Your average competence is poor, okay, but and the average competence of the fleet is not spectacular. But they're rather charismatic, so they have a good chance to throw themselves into the alien guns, or bioguns, or whatever it is that the Arachnids use. Not the Arachnids, the Hive uses. And we will just overrun them, surely. I will just check to see that that's... Yep, okay, we're not going to run out of minerals anytime soon, so we have plenty of bodies to throw at it. We're once again positive in our administrative points, so that's good. We've got back to making forward progress on that. What was I going to check now? I have a terrible memory. Oh, yes. So, we also have a load of laboratories, which essentially you can jumble around with to speed certain things up. And I forgot to adjust that last time, so the theory of energy, it doesn't really do anything for us, and it just unlocks future tech, so we're going to turn that down. And what does food education do again? Makes our food processing better, and since everyone's starving, we might try and fix that up. That'll help with shooting stuff, so we want that, and that'll also help with shooting stuff, so we kind of want that. So we're going to even things out a bit. This is kind of on the back burner for now, but it'll be fine. We make this amount of stuff per turn. It's not much, but it will get better as time goes on. And this is a whole lot of stuff that's not really relevant right now. So, with all of that out of the way, our explorers have diligently shot themselves down hyperlanes, or whatever it is they call these things, reported that they haven't fallen off the end of the universe, and that indeed there are aliens out there. I'm not... You'd think that we had a better way of doing it, but apparently not. And let's have a look. They still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets. So, yeah, we're just going to claim this planet. Let's not take their capital. The aliens, once they're kind of in danger of being annihilated, they kind of just summon up a load of, like, extra reserves to get things done. And so, maybe just taking 2 more planets will will teach them a lesson. And there was one other thing. Where was it? It's one of the things that I did in the background, but I've lost. Oh yes, the border priority. I've turned the border priority up for these 3, as these are the mindless things that keep attacking us. And so it just would do good to have our people prioritize putting more fleets on these borders. Equal on the Tal Mek, because we're actually fighting them, and -1 with everyone else, because we're going to be friends with everyone for now. Speaking of, actually not speaking of for now, we don't care about the aliens because they're insignificant. I mean, they're all bigger than us, and they're all technologically superior to us, but so long as we don't, annoy them, we'll be fine. It's not, I mean, we've got the slugs and the hive on our border, and those 2, on harder difficulties, apparently get pretty vicious, which is something I kind of just glossed over, as you can see. So, let's hope that things go well. There we go. The Empire has recognised that things aren't going so great here, and so we've just marshalled up a crap ton of stuff, and we look to be winning now. How's that going? Again, it doesn't really tell us. And that one we can tell in this one. Freaking zooming out all over the place. Okay, we seem to be doing relatively well. We're kicking them. Orders. What does that orders do? Oh yes, it's just my commanders and whatnot telling me that they've ordered the order that I ordered them to do. That they are given the order to do this thing, and they're doing it, and we seem to be winning. So everything's going pretty well. While I'm just rambling, which is something I do a lot of, there was something that when I was looking over the footage in the editor and whatnot, that I realised that these people don't actually have any honorary titles, which gives them a -50 opinion to me. It doesn't really matter, because they're already, like, super fans of us, these flower people. But things can happen which lower opinion and whatnot, and I still have 2 things to give out, so let's go give them an honorary title. Diego Gerson. Alright, what's this one do again? It's just opinion, but it's also an honorary title, so let's give you a little Platudius medal? That's not a word. And that costs money, which I don't want to spend. So, that's that, and I clicked out of it, but now they love us even more. Who are you 2 again? Yeah, we can't really do anything about them right now, and everyone else is neutral to us, so it's all fine. Now, I just noticed we do have a nice little reserve of money, and people are still hungry, so we're going to, since we also have the administrative points, invest in another food processor. I assume that they just build these all on Terra. I'm not entirely sure if it's significant, if it signifies one building being built, or if it's like many food processors across the Empire. I like to imagine that we're just building a massive extra food processor on Terra, and that's how we keep everyone dependent on us. We don't need this because, as you can see, this is our maximum mineral output, and we, at our current rate, are only consuming 735, so we're good here. So we're just going to invest in another food processor. Everything gets a little bit better, a bit more nutrient paste gets pressed out, and things go on as they were. Now, how are things going over here? We might as well, since this doesn't increase our frontage in any way, we might as well also order the conquest of this whenever they feel like getting round to it. And it would be nice to also have this little sector here, as it would reduce our overall frontage against the slug people, and we would also have some planets. So we're just going to mark these to be claimed, and again, the people will get round to doing it whenever they feel like it, whenever they've decided that they've got the fleets built up and the minerals and all that stuff. But with that all done, we'll just make sure that things aren't going terribly here. No, they're not going terribly. We indeed do seem to be winning. Same story here. So we just smack the end turn again. And, yep, things are going well. They've started their purging of the slugs. And things are... We're still... doesn't seem to be going so well as it was, but let's just assume that it's going fine. The happiness is higher than it used to be, so that's nice. Population, rebel preparedness, yeah, everything's pretty fine. We got a bit of reserve cash again, so oh, okay, the cost doubled. Okay, that's not so great. Never mind then. I guess, 80%'s better than 63% or whatever it was before. It's 17% more calories in their nutrient paste, so they won't be going anorexic quite as quickly, or however bad it gets for them, and we just end turn again. And we threw a whole lot more people, more ships into this, and looks like maybe the aliens did too. So there's just a month-long space battle going on over here, and which will, I think, slowly be reducing the quality crews or something like that, because that's how many crew we have. That's how much crew we need to fill our fleet, and they're getting killed off constantly and such. And the more ships we have, and I think if they die, then it affects the crew quality, because, the seasoned people who know what they're doing are getting blasted in, human wave charges. But, everything's going fine. We haven't lost any planets yet, so everything's going well. There is no need for concern in our great empire. And it looks like we finished some research. Now, just because we finished the research doesn't actually mean anything good happened. Not yet, because we may have got better thrusters and such, but, we need to fit that to the ships. And those new ships aren't going to be coming out until we, build them. And though we have the design approved and such, we only do it every so... I think it's after every audience. Yeah, after every audience, new squadron designs enter mass production. So we've got the stuff, but it's going to take a long time for that to actually filter into all of our ships, because we have a lot of ships. Every squadron has, multiple ships within them, and they all need maintenance, and they all need repairing, and it's a lot to deal with. So we've got the upgrade, but that'll take ages to actually get into the works. Now, is there anything else of note? Oh yeah, we researched a thing, so we've got to pick what we want to do better with. We could get some loyalty checks, but I'm not too fussed about that right now, and I glossed over this one before. We don't... 5%, I don't feel like that's going to make a difference right now, so why don't we... Yes, we'll just... we'll get a hunger stopper ensign, so the people might be hungry, but they won't feel hungry, and I'm not sure how that works out. Placebo affecting away hunger and famine, but, if it works, it works. So that'll do nicely, and since we've just finished... Oh wait, that was biochemistry, right? Yes, it was. So we'll just turn the research down on that a wee bit. We'll do it down by 2, and we'll just increase those ones. And everything's done again. So we click a button. We've won some planets. It looks like we've beaten the slugs. We've beaten some slugs. At some point, we conquered this one, and, things just happen. We don't really need to pay much attention to it, really. I kind of just look at all this stuff and see if anything important seems to have happened. Planet 1, that means things are going great, and I don't really have to pay too much attention. Still fighting over Calypso, more people being fed into the meat grinder, but it does seem that we're actually hitting them harder than they're hitting us, which is surprising, since I think the bugs are meant to be better than us? Question mark? The Hive. Yeah, their ships are superior to us in many regards. They even have, but their fleet tonnage probably looks about the same as ours is by default, and we're just sending more, so we just are out shooting them. That is right? Where is the Empire? The Empire. Oh, fuck, yeah. You see, because we got the upgrade off, we actually do have better thrusters and better beam weapon damage, and it seems that our average squad tonnage increased, I think. I don't remember what it was before, actually, but again, that technological bonus doesn't actually have an effect yet, because we haven't actually built any of the ships with the better thrusters, I think. And it won't happen until an audience, which is a ways away, but in better news, we can pass a law. And that's the main aim of the game, at least in my mind, is to get the laws going, because these things are very powerful, very, very useful. You see, this one has an extra colonization ship, so we can colonize twice the amount of planets as quickly, or you know what I mean. And it also increases the communication range by 10%, and communication range basically makes things more effective. As you can see here, it's adequate, but if it's good, then it does good things. Like, I think it might... Yeah, there you go. Productivity goes up. I think it affects the loyalty stat and the security stat. I mean, maybe not all of it, but, you know, I'm along the right lines. Again, I know how this works. I do know how this works. It's just talking at the same time is difficult. So, legislation. Laws. Now, the civil service law just sounds like a good one all around, because reduced cost all around, tax efficiency plus 10%, and we don't need a peacekeeping act, everything's fine in the Empire, there are no rebels, and we don't need this right now. I would rather have the money. And as you unlock things, you unlock other things, and this is slightly randomized, I believe. There are some things in the game that you just might never get, because it's slightly random, so it's a little bit of cool replayability, but I think all the crucial ones are in here somewhere. Pardon me. So, we'll approve that, and every law after that is going to get slightly more complicated to pass, which is why I like to have that reformer thing, because these costs are halved, I think it is. Something like that. Now, what was I going to do? Yes, increase the tax efficiency as well. Does that raise our... No, okay, so our tax efficiency is 100%, but right now it's capped at 70%, no matter how good we get it. So that actually did nothing for us right now, so we improved it all, but for some reason we're capped at 70%, because, again, we run on technologies from the 70s. This man is using a typewriter, and we're still using coins, which is funny. And he has for some reason, he has this on his face. Doesn't really matter. It's fine. But as you can see, it would have helped with our bureaucratic upkeep and the cost of our ministries and whatnot. So that's all hunky-dory. I would raise the aristocracy tax, but, well, we don't tax the rich people because they might start to not like us, even though it makes quite a bit of money, and we don't really need the money right now, to be honest. And so, with everything approved, we keep going until something happens. We won a planet, we did some exploring, our admiral tells us that he's commenced an attack on this planet, it's going hunky-dory, everything's fine, the Tal Mek are getting obliterated. Let's have a look. The slugs seem to be putting up a little bit of a fight, but we're still winning. We haven't colonized them because we only have one colonization ship, but, you know, we do it automatically. I don't really need to pay too much attention to that. We'll claim this planet. I mean, it's unclaimed. No aliens have it. That's the Vix. We're fine with them. We're at peace. They're civilized. We trade... Actually, we trade more with them than I thought. Maybe traders isn't such a bad trait. But our diplomat's very uncharismatic, so that won't be helping things. But he's competent, so that will be helping things. So, you know, it evens out. So, again, click, and that's that. Let's have a look. Ship design. Yep, our new ship designs will be hitting the factories. We'll be getting those better thrusters on. We'll be making old ships relics, or whatever it is, mothballing them. We've won a few planets, more explorations happened. Audience. Now, again, this is like the main thing of the game, in my opinion. Like, the audiences, it's the most fun part for me, really, even though I might be blowing through them. Musician guide services. Yeah, okay, he wants the job so he can get approved by his guild management. Yeah, we'll spend a tiny bit of money to make our banquet better. Well, our next banquet better. And, okay. The Feudal Economic Directorate. So, basically, this thing here, our private treasury, we take money from our personal holdings and whatnot, and we pool it all together into one big pie, and it gets evenly redistributed according to how much stock we have in the Feudal Economic Directorate stock market thingy-majig. And it's pretty interesting, because here it is. So, we have the largest amount of shares. Everyone else has their own portion of shares, and this thing here is basically affecting how many shares everyone gets. So, if we issued it based on fiefs, everyone would get some, but we would get more. But because everyone else is getting more, it also doesn't really make too much of a difference. The difference would be negligible, and it just makes things more confusing. Based on authority, based on the most worthy, so us, of course. Or we could just revoke some shares, and because it revokes them all evenly, and I have the greatest share slice of the pie, by removing everything, I technically get more. So right now I have 19.51% of the pie. If I revoke some shares, if my maths is correct, which it rarely is, I now have 19.51% of the shares. I have already forgotten what it was before, but it looks bigger. And, it's the same, because I haven't clicked end turn yet, so it hasn't actually done the thing. Never mind, I'm an idiot. So, we've had a good event in our in the Ministry of Treasury after their servers exploded. Each courtier has a 20% chance to lose the corrupted trait, or we gain a one-time income. How many of our courtiers have the corrupted trait? You do. You do. And, you do. And, does it say how bad the corruption is overall? Corruption, 13%. It's based on courtiers, who make a negligible percent. This is more permanent, which is great. And do we need the money? I don't know. Do we need the money? We make that in a turn anyway. You know what? Sure. Let's do courtiers concede, whatever it was. Now, patent dispute. We can just gain more money. We can gain more personal money, or we can just gain 115 around in Field of Science. We've got plenty of these things, so let's just shoot it off. We'll see what we get. These are one of these annoying ones. Suck up a load of bureaucratic points, or the court will prepare the papers soon. Same thing, but we do it faster. Let's have a look. Delford, +1 authority, +10 opinion, +1 authority, +20 opinion, and a favour. Favours, they don't do too much. They basically, when this thing happens, we can call on a favour to get people to vote the way we want them to vote. But if most of the people are already friendly with us, or neutral with us, then it doesn't matter too much, so we can just spend money on them, which does nothing. We can spend more money on them, and they get an opinion. We might as well get their authority and opinion of us higher. So we'll do that. Okay. Let's have a look. My liege. Apparently some space aliens secretly teleported to my chambers and stole my personal seal. Okay. Yes, okay. So, I'm not just gonna... no, you can wait. You can wait your turn in the line. And, Spymaster reporting, we have acquired an informant with a vast network of connections. In addition, this is very cost-effective. Secrets can be useful. doubling the bribe only gets us 1 extra secret, so we'll just get a normal amount of bribery done, and since we've got a few things stacked up for us now which will make a banquet pretty useful, or better, I'm rambling, we'll organise a banquet, and I believe these happen at the end of audience and stuff, so we'll organise a decent banquet. And again, with all that done, we are going to just smash the end turn button a few times and see what happens. Until then, though, we'll just claim that. Who's this? They're a small, minor alien people. We shouldn't be concerned about them. Where did you get that? The Forbidden Biosecurity Lab containment. Bossman Emperor's orders. The Emperor told you to take that crate out of the Forbidden Bio Super Maximum Security Lab. No, I mean not personally, but some fiscal engineer apparently spilled his coffee on a server or something and the entire hub got erased, so the Ministry of Finance is chasing up paper trails and the Emperor has them examining the cost-benefit ratio of the laboratories while they're at it. And like I've said before, that containment room is a massive waste of space and cash. A stadium-sized refrigerator with nothing in it but this crate, and the security detail costs us a fortune in coffee. That room used to be stocked full of nasty stuff a few centuries ago. Not really sure what happened to them. Think some of the temperature monitors failed and most of the batches were spoiled. That and someone probably decided it wasn't worth the hassle of keeping all these things preserved here. Ain't been any outbreak of such kind of viruses for a millennia. Mankind is too different genetically speaking to a point that we might as well be an alien species to them. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. After reviewing the budget, they're finally shutting it down. Manager says we might be refurbishing it into a cafeteria. Talk about worst idea ever. Blasted piece of junk ain't even labelled. I bet this thing ain't even in the system anymore. Pfft, this lab is a bureaucratic abyss. We only exist on a file created a century ago, in a server built half a millennia ago, within a dusty old server hub designed a millennia ago. If the tight cheeks weren't looking to save a few pennies, then we'd be... Oh no. Oh, we're so fad. Yup. All those bonus salaries. Yup. I flunked my degree. Paid someone some cash and he gave me my certificate and had this job lined up for me to take. Well, what about you, man? I've never seen you do anything remotely related to virology. I'm the janitor. Okay. No you're not. We don't have a janitor. It's an unofficial role. Like you said, no one even knew this place existed. The only reason it's still here is because of that thing you just took out of storage. Look around you, son. Everyone who works here is either security, an accountant, or people like you. People like me? What do you mean, like me? I mean, none of this was an accident. This place, the people in it. You being handed this job by the same woman who forged your certificate, and the lab being used for nothing other than storage for that thing. This place was meant to be forgotten, and so was that thing. Fortunately, quietly filing things away was a job that did itself. Until recently. Then, why keep it? Why not destroy it? Mistakes were made. People died. The old boys club didn't trust anyone else with the knowledge they had, and old age took that answer to the grave with them. And now the system is being combed over by an army of money-sniffing office workers, and they struck gold right here. So it's being moved to another lab, then? No. The reason why that crate never got removed is because no one had the clearance to. Only someone in the Imperial court itself would have that kind of power. That being the Emperor himself. We're still fighting for these planets. It's taking a while. How are we doing over here? Ooh, it's over. We won. Congratulations, everyone. So, with that good news, we'll just claim a few more planets. Get the ball rolling on that. Lots of clicking noises, I'm sorry. We'll close that up. How is the food going? It's still not fantastic, which will not be... Yep, minus 18 happiness, because we're not doing great on food. It's getting better, though, and it will be getting better as technology gets better. Moderate, still fine. So we'll just dump a load more money into food, and if I click enter, hey, there we go. Got a whole lot better pretty quickly. And happiness isn't looking too bad. Oh, and a whole lot of research is completed. Let's command, and that'll do for them. And that's everything there sorted. So we'll tone down that. let's get that going. And we'll turn that down as well. And we will just even it all out, roughly. Everything is going great. Smackdown turn. Intelligence. What's the intelligence? We got a satellite network access. Doesn't really matter too much. This would... If on much harder difficulties, you'd probably want to mull over all these details. But, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm rather decent at the game, and I kind of know how to just wing my way through it. Even on harder difficulties, as you can see, we are slowly winning over here. Everyone's dying by their thousands. So many people are dying that we don't even have a stat for it. I mean, in Stellar Monarch 1, we used to have like a little ground forces number, but we're just Starship Troopering our way through these bugs, sending people down. They die. We send in the next lot. It doesn't really matter. The population of the our population is in billions, many billions, and a few aliens who I'm not sure. Oh wait, aliens? Ah yes, these aliens. Yes. In our benevolence, we decide not to just murder them because they're sentient and they have emotions and feelings. So we don't want to hurt their feelings too badly, and so we let them live. We let them live. It's just that they live less equal to us. That's about the gist of how Terrans deal with Xenos. And that's all that is really of concern. How are these people, by the way? Are we any closer to getting a treaty negotiated? Nope. Okay. Negotiations. Oh. Okay. That's not a treaty for peace. That's a treaty for something else. Oh, and while I'm at it again. Our treaty negotiations are going rather well here. Let's work towards trade alliance with them. We already have trade agreements, but we can get, like, other stuff. And, we might as well be friends with everyone for now. I mean, we probably could. Oh, wait, that's them. Yeah, war preparations. Yeah. We could... Oh, okay, that's enough. We could be friends with everyone, or we could attack everyone, but I'm not confident enough to just attack everyone, just willy-nilly. I mean, a good portion of our manufacturing output is being consumed just with the way things are now. If we started to, throwing ships away everywhere, then we might run out of ships, and that would be a disaster. So, we'll just encourage this colonization here. How are the Arachnids doing, by the way? Okay, yep, they're eating up quite a portion of the galaxy. How well? Yep, in however many turns it's been since they awoke, they have taken 50 planets, which is not an insignificant amount. But in so many turns, they'll eventually go back into hibernation, and I think they'll all just return to their home planets, wherever that is. It's somewhere out. Oh, I think, is that it? No, that's slugs. Slugs don't have a capital there, do they? Do they? But the slugs are over here. Well, according to our sensors, this place doesn't exist. That's the edge of the galaxy, so we don't care. And everything's going hunky-dory. End turn. Some research completed. Go to research. Thinking machines. What does that do again? Could do it. Or our base city output could be +8, which would make more money and stuff. Now, intelligent mechanical servants. Those are really useful. What does that do again? Yeah, no, that'll do for now. Anything else complete? No. Alright. We'll keep going until the next audience. Which shouldn't be too long away, because we're just winning. I could conquer the rest of them. I mean, we might as well, right? I mean, they haven't attacked us because they're just so industrially tiny that we probably wiped out most of them just fighting for their first 3 planets. Well, you know what? It serves them right. We'll prioritize their capital. Oh, that reminds me. All these planets will still be prioritized because, which is annoying, it doesn't automatically unprioritize them once you've taken the planet. This was slightly annoying. Oh well. So, and I'm not going to spend ages there messing around with it. We are getting round to this. We are throwing more people into the. Oh, that's entirely our strategic reserve. So we're just throwing mothballed ships or something at them now, which is which is fine. Yep. Yep, everything's going great. I forgot what I was doing originally. Oh yeah, the defend order. We don't need that. Don't need that anymore. And things are going fine. Everything's going fine. What was I looking over here for in the first place? I don't recall. Next turn. Did we lose anything? No. Did we research anything? Nope. Looks like we're still winning over here. Just to have a quick review. Yep, going great. Yep, going great. Yep, going absolutely fantastic. Just quickly check that. Our food coverage is 91%. It's getting better, little by little. And our industrial capacity is still doing fine. We've not really, as far as I know, collected any more rare resources than we did before, but we'll just get those as we go along. I could go out looking for them, but honestly, things are going well enough that I don't really need to prioritize finding it. And with that, we've got a few spare focus points. So we'll just spend those focus points now anyway. And official celebration. We spend a whole lot of cash, a lot of points, and some more points just to various heads of house prefer oh wait, okay. I thought it would give us like nice little text snippet of what we're celebrating. Like, if we're gonna spend all this money, I want to know what it is we're celebrating. But nah, I don't want to spend that much money. Not right now. And it still costs quite a bit to give them a thing. Alright, never mind. That'll do. Right, and Yep, spam the end turn button, see what happens. Good. Nothing bad. Won a few planets. How's it going over here? The Tal Mek's capital has lost all of its fleets. We will be murdering them promptly. Let's claim that planet, and whenever our explorers get round to it, or our colony ships, they'll take it. They're peaceful with us, they won't mind. Just a bit of aggressive expansion. And while we're at it, claim. Everything's going great, except for Arroya. They seem to have somehow slipped through. Somehow. I'm not sure how they've managed to attack Arroya. Maybe they came through here, for some reason has no ships. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened there. So Arroya has... It looks like we had fleets there as well, but they've lost. Yumi, Simos, Tombori, Sapporo, Calypso, Arroya. Yeah, we did have ships here, I think. But we've lost them. We're winning on Eclipso, one on Tal Mek. They did something on Manau, or whatever it's called. This one. So, somehow they're attacking here. I'm not entirely sure how. Oh, they may be from here. Maybe somehow they're allowed to still do this. Somehow. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure how this happened. It happened, but it's fine. I mean, it's only 238 million Terrans who are going to die because of it. Probably, unless... Oh no, we got some ships back. It's fine. So everything's fine. Those people aren't going to die. It's going to be great. A happy ending for them. Everything else is fine. Yep. We won a planet, and some more colonization happened. We won another planet. We set up an outpost, which is the precursor to fully colonizing a planet. And another audience. Hurrah! And I believe this is the one... We'll also have a banquet here. Let's have a quick look. Maybe? Oh yeah, all the dukes are here. It's lots of banquet events. Okay. Scientist. We could gain a whole lot of personal money, or we could get plus 300 in biochemistry, which I'm going to do because research is cool. We got another good event from the Minister of Internal Affairs. We could chop down the rebel progress. We could chop it down more with some bureaucratic zeal. We could find the leaders, just... you know, you're a traitor and all, just pay this fine and, you know, I'll give you a license for that car bomb. Or you can go mad and suspect the court, which gives a very, very low chance for everyone to get +1 loyalty. And no, that is his wounds testing. In fact, there's no guarantee this will pass it. Yes, if they fail the loyalty test, then they basically get replaced. But everyone's very... Oh, never mind. But most people are fine. Most people are fine. The overall happiness and... You know, the court overall actually kind of puts down rebels more than it encourages them. So this would see them off for... This would reverse 10 turns and a bit worth of their progress. And we gained that back in 5 turns. 4 times... Yeah, 4 times 5. Yep, that's maths. Sure, we'll put some bureaucratic zeal into them and arrest them twice. So, there we go. Good event. Ambassador. Oh, great. Okay, another insignificant little speck wants to attack us. Why are you doing this? Why? Don't you see what we did to your friends? Your neighbours to them. You know what's happening. Fine. We could postpone it. But why would we do that when it's just a net gain for us to murder them? So, yeah, alright. What about you? Do you want to fight us? No? Alright, great. I believe political connections helps us get more good things happening with them in time. Okay, so, the banquet. We can make a toast, glory to the Empire, +1 stability, which in a few more ticks will do something good, but or we could get a flat +13 opinion from all of them, which would be a nice buffer, as it just gives us a whole lot of opinion. And early game, I kind of like to shore up the nobles, so we'll, yep, salutations to all the nobles, and he's kind of impressed, but it says it's decent, a 4 out of 9, which is great. So, and basically how much they like the banquet affects how effective these are. So we can talk about our differences. If he hated the banquet, then this would maybe increase his opinion of us by like 4. But if he really liked it, then it might increase his opinion of us by like 60 or something like that. So the more they like the banquet, the more powerful all this is, and the less this costs. So, as you can see, it's very expensive. And it's capped at friendly, so I'm not too fussed about that right now. Oh yes, reforms, but we can't do any reforms right now, I don't think. Maybe we can, oh yeah, there it is, Reforms Act. Once we get this, they can start supporting reforms, which is also very useful. And come on, look. Or we could gain a whole lot of secrets. I would rather just up our buffer a little bit more. Now he really likes a banquet, so it's an even better buffer. If we did that, it would take us over the 400 mark, and I believe over the 400 mark they become friendly, which basically means they help fight against this a wee bit more. Yeah, they become cordial, which does good things. Could they consider supporting a reform? But it doesn't do too much. It doesn't. It's in there somewhere. Yeah, -3% overall to that 12 that they've got there. So it wouldn't do too much. Meanwhile, I could start just laying the groundwork for getting reforms passed for very cheap as well. So we'll do that. How about you? Wow, you've been in the biz for a long time. No wonder you hate me. Ooh. Let's have a look. She just, despite maybe not really liking us too much, she thinks the banquet's alright. And you know what? We'll just start slowly shoring up her opinion of us, even if she doesn't like us. He likes the banquet, he's impressed, but he's already pretty good. He already likes us rather well, so again, just to support a random reform. And that doesn't expire, I believe. It's just good. Just shore up personal opinion. And you've got quite a lot of opinion. There's no need to shore anything up with you. So, you know what, mate? Do you want to just tell us a few secrets? Matt might do something later if anything happens. Okay, so I think that'll just about do it here. We've got some new ships, but maybe we'll go over that next time. Everything's going hunky-dory. The Empire has increased in size. I did not want to click that. I think we started off with about 50 planets, and somewhere, where is it? Yeah, for some reason it's in diplomacy. Okay, maybe we started off with a few more than 50 planets, but we controlled about 5% of the galaxy before, I think, and now we control about 8.21% of the galaxy, or something like that. I do know that we did used to be smaller than the Vix, I think, and the Thal, so we're larger than them now. So we're now the greatest power in the galaxy, in size, besides maybe the Arachnids and all the bugs and whatnot. But yeah, okay, that will probably do it for now. And final note, I am aware that you can hear the clicking of the mouse. I am using a different recording software to the one I did a long time ago. This one, unfortunately, just records the screen and all the outside noises. The last one that I had, which doesn't work with Stellar Monarch 2, unfortunately, it doesn't work the same, which is unfortunate. But okay, I've rambled enough. That'll do for now. And at that point I just had the High Command continue the offensive, and I reckon that'll be the last I'll hear of them or any other little upstarts. Well, except for those other ones.
Joriah, I must say that in your short time as Emperor, you've done some wonders for us, least notable of all of them handling those civilized upstarts. We're greatly looking forward to the expansion of the ministries. Accountants and clerks don't employ themselves these days, you know.
Yeah, about that. See, I passed the civil service law thinking it'd reduce the operating cost of those ministries, but I misread it. You see, it turns out it only made expanding them cheaper, which is just what we needed, of course. More accountants and human resource managers.
Well, these things happen. The addendum is so very much to read. My civil regent tells me it'll be at least a decade before every loophole is ironed out. Best to make the most of it. I hear the Imperial treasury is not short of funds, and our ministries really could do with some upsizing. If not more officers, then perhaps some modernization.
And I suppose you'll be recommending your in-laws contractors for the job?
Well, you can't fault me for trying, old boy.
Well, when I get around to it, I'll see what comes up. Speaking of modernization, I'm due a chat with the Richeldi.
Well then, I'm going to make like a banana.
What? Your Grace.
Your Majesty, your presence here enriches this otherwise humble occasion. May the benevolence of the Imperial Charter bring blessings on your house.
And on yours.
And may its wisdom bring success in all your undertakings.
And in yours.
And may the purpose it instills light up your life.
And up yours.
Your Majesty is most kind, but I would be most eager to hear his vision for our empire, given that he has seemed so privy to changing it.
Vision, Your Grace? It's not about vision, it's about future. One with a Terran race still in it. Our empire exists in the very heart of the galaxy, surrounded on every side by aliens, xeno, and scum. It's not enough to just exist, Your Grace. One has to set down their grievances with the past and look to the future.
Your Majesty is most inspiring, but I think perhaps he should be careful to consider what it is that he inspires in his subjects.
Inspires, Your Grace? People don't get inspired. They get busy or they get complacent. A few years of just keeping things ticking over will do that to a man, let alone a few centuries.
There's many a good tunes played on an old fiddle.
And if everyone stuck to the fiddle, we'd have never created rock, or swing, or reggae. Ugh.
And if the future for the Empire includes reggae, Your Majesty?
Well, there are always those who won't like reggae. But reggae doesn't care what other people think, and it will, and it did, move on to success without its naysayers.
Your words are wise and bold, my Emperor, but one thinks the stakes are different compared to whether people are affable to a genre of music or not.
Your Grace, we are both far too aware of the stakes involved to trivialize the Empire to musical trends. But if we were to, then Beethoven's music was highly acclaimed.
Enough of music. I wish to speak with you about the memorial service being held for the many brave officers of the Imperial
Where did you get that? The fact